Hello, hello, Melody Campbell, the small business guru. What's a guru? I'm your guide to get more business. That's what a guru is, your guide. Get of all kinds of gurus, a gardening guru, a home improvement guru. But I'm your small business guru, which means that I am your guide in things related to small business. And in particular, I help business owners get more business with their digital marketing. And even narrower than that, I help businesses get found on the first page of Google and soon to be found by Siri and AI and Alexa and Google Home, all the things. So if you're talking to Alexa and you're asking her, find me a roofer near me, best roofer near me, and you don't come up, I can help with that. So over the last couple of days, I've been doing these lives around lunchtime, live stream at lunch. Oh, I think maybe that's what I'll call it. Live stream at lunch with Melody Campbell, the small business guru. Okay. I've been doing that, and we've been talking about what is, first of all, my first day was, who am I and why am I qualified to do this? I've been doing digital marketing since 1996. I've learned from some of the best. 2014, I got my master's degree in digital marketing, and I believe I got a B plus because I think I had one class that I didn't get an A, and I got a B plus in because I turned in an assignment 3 minutes late because it was an online degree program. It had to be uploaded by 9 p.m. West Coast time, and I had computer issues and I didn't get it uploaded until 9:03. That cost me straight A's. That's okay. Anyways, and I've been doing it for myself. I've been doing it for my clients for more than 20 years. And I have clients right now who tell me that the SEO or search engine optimization that I did in their behalf is worth $400,000 worth of business for them. So it's a big deal what I do. I can transform your life and your business if we work together. Today, yesterday we talked about, let's see here. We talked about what is SEO and why does it matter? Okay, we talked about that briefly right now. Then I talked about the biggest myths. There's 5 of them related to SEO and the truth behind them. So if you missed yesterday's live stream, be patient. I will get the recording of that uploaded and you can look at that again. Let's see. So today, what we're going to talk about is how Google ranks websites. Okay. Now, this is still relevant in the new era of AI. Okay. So AI isn't getting rid of the need for search engine optimization. It's increasing the need for optimization, and you need to be AI optimized as well as search. So generative engine optimization. That's what we're looking at now. So some of the same elements are going to be true if you're wanting to rank because you want to get found by AI, or you want to get found by voice search, or you want to get found by traditional search. You're going to use some of the same methods and build on them for each of those. So here's just a kind of an overview of the 3 things, the 3 factors that Google uses when they decide where you fall in the ranks, where your business falls in the ranks. So number 1 is relevance. Does your content match what's being searched for? And most often it's matching the words that are being used by your prospect with words that are on your website. If you don't have those words on your website, you might miss it. So Google is their algorithm is getting better and better. Google scans your website to understand what your business is about. Okay. So sometimes Google will understand because of the photos or maybe some of the words that are on there. But really, it's not like it's a human. And even with AI, it's not like it's a human looking at it and going, oh, this is probably a house cleaning business. You need to say, we do residential cleaning. We clean your house. We clean your home. We clean your apartment. We clean your move-ins and your move-outs. You need to use a lot of different words because those are going to be the words that people put in the search bar when they're looking for what you do, but they don't know who you are yet. So how does Google know to scan your website? Well, I'm glad you asked. So you're going to submit your website to Google for indexing. Basically, if you set up Google Analytics and Google Search Console, that will be all you need to do. And then Google will come back to your website, especially as often as you add new content. So how often do you want Google coming back to your website? At least that often is how you should post content. So, you might want Google checking on your website, all day long, every day. So you don't have to produce content, but if you once a day, once a week, once a month, all of those are good intervals, but come back and put extra content on there. And it might be a blog post. It might be a case history of, one of your successful clients or services that you provided. You need the right keywords, a clear website structure, and useful content. So Google has something called their EAT. I don't know. It's EAT, and I don't know what it is. Guidelines, I guess. So it's two E's, EEAT. It's experience. I just blanked on me. What is the second one? Experience, expertise, authority. Are you authority on the topic? The content needs to sound like you're an authority on the topic. So experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. So does the content on your website inspire trustworthiness? Can you be trusted? Does it have all the elements? Oh, this person's local. I know this person, or, this person is a prominent person or business in my community. Google's going to see that. And some of what it uses, if someone searches, quote, best coffee shop near me, Google prioritizes local businesses with optimized listings and reviews. So Google's going to take all of that into account before it shows you off for that phrase. Authority. Does Google trust your website? Google ranks websites with strong backlinks from other sites. So that's one of the reasons why when we do a full campaign, we help grow your backlinks from other reputable high domain authority websites back to yours, because Google wants to see that. That gives you your authority edge. More positive customer reviews, mentions on social media. So we're integrating, your Google business profile, your website, and social media. And those gears, as if they were gears, make the engine of your digital marketing work. And then user experience. Does your website provide a great experience? Can they use it on a desktop? Can they use it on a mobile device? Can they clearly see all the images? Do they line up? Are there big blank spaces? All the things. Does it look good from one device to the next? Is it fast loading? If it takes longer than 3 seconds to load, people leave. So you want to make sure that you might have some really beautiful pictures on there, but if they're really high resolution, it might cause your website to load slowly. There are things that we can do to fix that if it's loading slowly. You don't want that to happen. Easy navigation. Google likes or favors websites that are clear, structured, and user-friendly. Like when you sit down at your website, in fact, you might get input from maybe some of your current customers or maybe friends and family. Go visit my website and tell me if it's intuitive to find the information you're looking for if you want to hire me to do house cleaning, let's say. So they go to your website and they're like, oh, this is really beautiful. Okay, you might ask them a few questions. Would you know what to do if you wanted a quote on house cleaning? Well, I guess I could call you. But other than that, but what if it's after hours? How do I get a hold of you? Well, if there's not a clear call to action, maybe a form that can be filled out that says request a quote, something along those lines. Send us an email. I mean, there's chat bubbles, different things like that can allow your visitors to your website to communicate with you if they want a quote. You got to make sure you have those components in there, and Google's going to be checking. Is it easy to hire this person from this website? Is it easy to use for the prospects and visitors that we might send to this website? And, you know, can they use the website? Is it going to get them where they want to be? So relevance, authority, and user experience. Those are the three main things. Now, as I mentioned in previous live streams, Google has a list of 200 factors that influence how you actually, it's not a list that Google put together. It's a list that people in the SEO or search engine optimization industry put together. Now, some of it we got directly from Google, where Google says we want X, Y, and Z. And some of it we tested. And we said, well, what if we do this or this? How does this change? Does it make it easier to rank this website on the first page of Google for this keyword? So collectively, as an industry, we've been testing what does Google want and what does Google respond to. And there's industry experts in SEO have compiled a list of 200 factors. Some of those factors you can just set up once when you've built the website and you're good to go. Other factors, it's something you need to do ongoing. So one of the things that we do, which I've already mentioned, is create backlinks to your website. Also citations. So that is basically your basic business information: name, address, phone number, website, description of your business, your hours, a source for reviews on multiple business directories. Now, nobody goes to those directories to find you, but Google looks to see where else is this business listed and does all of their information match right down to the street address. If you are on, let's say, Court, let's say Seaside Court is where your business is at. And if on your Google business profile, you have it abbreviated CT, but on other directories, you have it spelled out CORT, Google's going to see that as a difference. And I'm not sure where they stand on it exactly. I don't know if that would prevent Google from showing you more often, but it's generally recommended that everything is exactly matching what you have on your Google business profile. That's going to give you the best option for Google to say, look, this business is all these other places. Let's show her for this keyword or phrase that's being looked. And of course, it is going to be relevant to what's on your website, what's on your Google business profile. And I have a package that I work with my clients on, and I help to optimize their service listings and their frequently asked questions and their photos and posts. And we put as many relevant keywords in the most natural way. You don't want to do keyword stuffing, so it's just blah, blah, blah keyword, but it's like how you'd want to read. Like if you went to a website and you're wanting to hire a product or service company and they described their service, you want it to be something that appeal to you as the viewer, as the visitor. But Google's looking at that as well. And so there might be a word or a phrase in there that matches what they looked for. But then when they go and they read it, they read the whole description and say, yeah, this is the company I'm looking for. And how many times do people actually click on the link when you get shown? The ones that get clicked on most often will show up more often. The ones that don't get clicked on will start to show up less and less. So that's why your title tags and meta descriptions, which I'll go into that more later, and I'll maybe create some visuals so that you can see, Google will use that to say, okay, is this a good match? If somebody's looking for this product or service, or this is their search term, is it a good match? Okay, now we're going to talk about one more thing, action steps. What can a small business owner do right now? Okay, I'm going to talk about this briefly, but I'm also going to offer to you right now, if you will put a question or a comment in the chat below. First of all, I love your questions, and I will either answer it today or I will make note of it and come back and answer it. And if you want me to let you know when I'm going to talk about the answer, you can let me know that you want to be notified by either email or text message, and I'll notify you and say, hey, today I'm going to talk about the question that you asked. So you decide. You have questions, and I want questions about how to market your business. Okay. So action steps. What can small business owners do right now? One more thing I wanted to say is, if you want an audit of your website, audit for, will it convert well? Like, if I can get traffic to your website, what are the elements that are there that will convert people, or what are the elements that might be missing, that if you updated your website with just a few things, would that help it to convert better? I will do an SEO and conversion audit for free. So you just have to drop in the comments below, free audit, and we'll have to connect so I can get your email address and or text messaging so I can send you this audit once I've completed it. And shortly I'll have a form that I can send you to, and you can just fill out the form and say, I want an audit. So if you want that for free, just drop it in the chat. I want a free audit, or hashtag free audit, and we'll set that up. Okay. Number 1, if you haven't done it already, claim and optimize your Google business profile. Accurate and specific business information, photos, and you really want to beef up those customer reviews. And when I say beef up, I don't mean like change them, add your own words, which you can't do anyways, but like get the numbers up, like get as many customers as possible to leave you a review. So I'm working with a business right now that's been in business for, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's been like 5 years. I'm pretty sure it's been at least 5 years, because I remember talking to her 5 years ago about, some marketing campaigns for her business. And she has 1 review. She's been in business a long time. She has many happy customers. I know because I've met and talked with some of them, but she has 1 review. So I said, we need to start a review campaign for you. So I've been optimizing her Google business profile. She has a website. We're putting in good service listings with optimized headlines and descriptions. And we've been adding frequently asked questions, and we have lots of great photos. And once a week we post on her behalf. And it's not really getting the traction that it should be. And I think that has to do with her reviews. So I said, this is one area where you're weak on. Let's work on those reviews. So I've set up an automated system where we can reach out to all of her existing clients and request that they leave a review. And it's kind of important that you educate your customers about reviews. So I once did work for an attorney here in town. And initially, the first work that I did was I was working with another website development company here in town, and they were in the process of building his website, and they were in the process for about a year. And it wasn't their fault. He just was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't really like photos of myself, but I know I need to have it on there. He was just kind of lost. And I said, okay, let me help you. I said, let's go over your website page by page, and I will use my trusty phone, and I will record what you say for each section. Then I will transcribe it, and I will pass it off to our web development team, and we'll get your website done. I think it was a matter of 2 weeks. We had all the information collected from him, and we got the website done. Score for us. So, sorry, I'm a little bit distracted here. And I asked him to leave me a review when we got that all up. Like, he was really happy, really proud. Now he finally had a website. And I said, I need you to leave me a review on my Google business profile. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but something like, Melody's a really nice person. And I was like, well, that's nice. I appreciate that. I am a nice person. But I'd like you to say something about what we did together. We worked on your website. We were efficient. We got it up quickly once we got your information. I helped you gather the information. It helped you gather the photos. Talk about something that we did together and what you like. So, did we show up on time, and did we take care, like if you're a service-based business, did we take care of your carpet and we put booties on? We didn't walk in with muddy boots, or all the things you want. And you might tell them, give them some suggestions. Please say something authentic about the following things, because we would like our next new customer to know why. Why should they hire us to do this product or service? It's great to know that I'm nice, but I also want to know what else. Like, why would they hire me to do their website? Why would they hire me to do their search engine optimization? So you do have to educate your customers on the reviews. Post weekly updates to show Google you're active. So a lot of people that I talk to, they didn't even know they can post on Google, their Google business profile. I can show you what to do, how to do it, and I can even do it for you. If you post on Instagram, Facebook, you should also post on Google. And if you're not posting on those, you should post on all three of them. I even have a tool, my Business Power tool. I can set you up so that you can schedule and automate all of your posts. I can even set it up so that you can say, like, for example, I work with a travel agent, and she helps families plan amazing family trips with toddlers or with teenagers, like to go to Disney World or go to the U.S. Capitol. How do you do? She helps them to do that. And one of her giveaways, she does an ebook and a checklist, and she does her post on social media, and then she'll say, put a comment below with hashtag toddlers or hashtag ebook. And that automates that triggers the automation to send out her ebook. And she doesn't have to do anything. Like, she's got all this automated. I mean, she has to set up the automation, and we helped her to do that. But so it's more than just scheduling. It's automating and further drawing your clients into that know, like, and trust. There's awareness, there's interest, there's desire. And your activity should focus on these three areas, because once desire is high, and maybe it's a life change in their life, potentially they're going to hire you. That's when they're ready to take action and convert. And we're going to be talking more about that later. Make sure your website is mobile friendly and loads fast. So you can use Google's mobile friendly test to check. A lot of website development tools have the ability to see the website. Here's what it's going to look like on a desktop. Here's what it's going to look like on a tablet. And here's what it's going to look like on the phone. I realize you can't see my hand, so it's much wider when it's your desktop. And you can see it in all three width ranges, and this is what it's going to look like on a phone. Of course, you can also pull up your phone, say, what is this going to look like on a phone? You want to make sure it's mobile friendly. Use the right keywords in your website content. Find what customers are searching for and include those phrases naturally. Instead of just plumbing service, how about emergency plumbing in whatever your city is? Okay, so like with the lady I just mentioned, where I'm doing her SEO max or optimizing her Google business profile for cleaning service, she just says, I do residential and commercial cleaning. Well, itemize that out. So like, you've got regular, weekly, monthly cleans. You've got your move-ins and move-outs. You've got your vacation rental cleanups, a kitchen appliance, oven cleaning, all those things. You want to articulate all of those, not only on your Google business profile, but also on your website, because those are the keywords that people are going to be using when they're looking for you. And you want to make sure you articulate that. Get reviews and backlinks to build authority. So first place that I would start for getting backlinks is citations. That is included in my SEO Lite service. You'll get 30 plus directory listings on high domain authority directories. Some of them will allow you to put your website on there with a backlink. So some directories have a follow and some have no follow, which means the link is on there, but it's not something that Google actually counts as a backlink. But the majority of them do. I don't know if I can say, I don't know what the percentage is, but there are some that do, and you want to be on all of them because that will influence Google on how often you show up on the first page of Google, especially in Google Maps. And then you also want to be in industry blogs. If you can write for your industry, so let's say there's an organization that I belong to. Actually, I don't belong to. I visited. That's a better way of saying it. I visited and I know the people, and it's the National Association of Women in Construction. Do they have a website where you could produce articles? If you're a woman in construction, if you're a roofer, if you own a glass company, if you do, if you're a builder, produce articles for them and their website with a link back to your website. That's going to be very valuable. So you might want to look for those opportunities. And of course, if you're one of my clients and we're doing the full campaign, that's one of the things that we will do on your behalf. Create valuable content. Answer common customer questions on your website. This helps Google and builds trust. But also you can ask those questions and provide the answers on your Google business profile. I'm putting together a class. I'm going to show you how to do that, how to come up with the questions. One of the things that I do is anytime one of my customers emails me and says, this is an issue that I'm having, or for example, here's a good example. In our community, the local newspaper does Best of the Willamette Valley. And there are a lot of people that participate in it, and they get the little seals on their window of their location, that they were in the top 3, gold, silver, bronze, the Best of Willamette Valley. Great. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's some pros and cons. One of my SEO clients contacted me and I said, here's the pros, here's the cons, here's what I recommend. How can I support what you want to do? So, and I wrote a whole blog post about it. I put that content on there because I realized she's probably not the only one asking that question. Or sometimes somebody will ask me, I can see that the search engine optimization is working. I'm looking at Google Analytics and our traffic has increased exponentially, but I'm not getting a lot of new business. What do you think is happening? Well, I might come back to them and say, let's look at your conversion. And so I wrote, in fact, I've done this a number of times. I've written articles and published them on my website about not getting enough action from your website and what are some things that you can focus on and pay attention to, and how can you fix this? If you're getting the right people there, some of them should be buying from you. Yeah. So I would love to know if you have any questions about what we've talked about so far. Or if this makes you think of other questions. So you might be like, okay, let's talk about conversion. How do I know if I'm getting the right people at my website? Good question. We can answer that. And if they come to my website, why aren't they hiring me? Good question. We can answer that. But I would love to hear from you. What questions do you have about what we've talked about so far? Or what questions do you have in general about marketing your business? That's what these daily live streams are focused on, is what do you want to know? And what I've done is just come up with kind of a guideline of some different things I'm going to talk about each day. Right now, I'm only doing 30 minutes at lunchtime, somewhere between 12 and 1. And if you don't ask questions, I'll just come up with ones that I know that I get from my clients. And I might direct you in the description below the video, direct you to where you can get those further questions answered. Like if you wanted to know, what are the pros and cons? What did you tell that customer of yours about the pros and cons of being in the Best of Willamette Valley or whatever your town is? Because I think they do these best of like all over the country. Just go to my website, look under resources, and you'll see blog, and you'll see it in my blog listing. But I can also upload links as it's the topic that I'm talking about. So I want to hear what's your biggest marketing challenge and how can I help? Drop your questions in the chat. So tomorrow, let me see. I don't have a list for tomorrow. What we're going to actually, I do. We're going to be talking a little more in depth about your Google business profile. It's the secret to local SEO. So if you are a business in, let's say, Salem, Oregon, which is where I'm located, you don't necessarily, like if you have an esthetician business, people aren't going to fly in from all over the country, maybe, but more than likely they're going to come from Salem and Kaiser and Turner and Albany and, maybe not even out that far. The way you manage your Google business profile can help Google to show you off more often when people are looking for you locally. Your Google business profile is a brilliant tool that you're really missing out if you don't optimize it. And I can invite you to my class that I'll be teaching on optimizing your Google business profile. You can hire me to do it, or you can do it yourself. Because the Google business profile itself is free. You do have to get it claimed and verified, and sometimes that's a little bit of work. If you need help with that, let me know. That's something I do. And if you just want there's a few your services or product listings, your frequently asked questions, you absolutely want to add photos, like on the regular, 3 to 4 photos a week, minimum 3 to 4 photos a month. But when you get to 100 photos in that top section, what research has found is that you get about 1,000% more visibility when you have more photos. And then, of course, we've got the photos that go with the posts at the bottom of the Google business profile. Some of them, depending on what it is, like with restaurants, if they're having a special on, let's say, Meat Lovers Pizza, those are going to show up in the main feed of your search. Google wants to show those up almost like Google Shopping or Google, these are coupons. Google's all about serving the search person, the prospect. And if they can put your offer, so let's say it's 50% off our Meat Lovers Pizza, that's an offer. You can put that in your Google post, and they'll might see it and find you because it's in your post, but Google might pull that post out into the mainstream of the search results, and you might show up there. So it's a very powerful tool with several different elements. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm not necessarily going to go very in depth, but I will cover some of the more helpful information. And I want to hear your comments, your questions, as long as they're related to what we're talking about, getting more business, marketing, search engine optimization, website and conversion. Ask away. I want to answer your question. I will even do an audit of your website. We can do a live audit where I pull it on to the live stream here, or I can do a private audit for you. We can schedule an appointment and I can go over, here's where your opportunities for improvement are. Here's what you did right. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Let's talk. What are you waiting for? All right. I'm going to say goodbye for today, and I will see you tomorrow in the lunch hour sometime, 30 minutes, and we're going to be talking about your Google business profile. Come with your questions because I want to know all about them. Talk to you.